Hey everybody, welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's time for Rockin Robbie Live here on our YouTube channel. What's up everybody? I'm Rockin Robbie. Today we're going to be talking about comic books, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. This whole show is driven by your questions. That gets the conversation going. That keeps the conversation going. Of course, we will be talking about our picks of the week. We will be talking about this upcoming week's new comic books, a big, giant week. We'll be talking a little bit about the best publisher of the year or publishers who we think individually. Lots of fun conversation and some really cool show and tell. And I cannot wait to show you and tell you about what we're going to be doing at the end of the show. So that's super, super cool. Once you get in here, let me know that you're here. Say what's up. Say how's it going. And let's get it going. What's up, Bawana Beast? What's up, Comic Corpse? What's up, Dylan? Dylan, how are you doing? Good to have you on the show last night. What's up, Kyle? How are you doing? I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself? So yeah, Bawana Beast saying Sean Lee. That's right. The Cowboys actually beat a team with a winning record today, which was something that hasn't happened yet this season. So that was really exciting to see. It sets up a really big and important showdown next week against Philadelphia. So pretty much we think the winner that's going to take it, so that's exciting. Anyway, tonight we'll be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. Thank you so much for joining us. What's up, Reggie? What's up, Chris? How are y'all doing? I do want to mention real quick, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out here. Be sure to like and share, subscribe, all that stuff. Let everybody know that the raddest live chat on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time on YouTube is going on right there, you know? Anyway, yeah, we got some people dropping in now. What's up, C3? What's up, Herminio? What's up, Bash? Excited to see everybody here. What's up, Bueller? How are you doing? Awesome show last night, Bueller. Thank you so much. What's up, Dylan? These Sunday live streams are what I look forward to every week. Always a great way to end the weekend. Thanks again for you guys having me, really. Yeah, that was fantastic. Dylan, Bueller, I have so much fun doing that show. Dylan, you are a welcome addition, obviously. But I had a lot of fun doing that show. I always do. Jim Mint is a super cool cat, and I'm sure we all appreciate him letting us jump onto his channel and talk about comic books. Yeah. What's up, Daniel? How are you doing? What's up, Logan? What's up, everyone? So we're going to open up the conversation with what was your pick of the week? What was your favorite comic book of last week? Before we look forward to this week, which is huge, what was your favorite comic book of last week? My pick of the week, obviously, Red Mother. Loved it so much. If you read Red Mother, I'm interested to know what you thought about it, but I'm most interested to know what was your favorite comic book that you read last week. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie, and you can join the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group, the PCP Army, and indoctrinate others. Join the PCP Army. So my pick of the week was Red Mother, and I know not a lot happened in that first issue, but there is a lot that happened as far as building up the character, right? This lady, her biggest thing that she's dealing with is the aftermath of this tragedy, this attack, right? You don't even really quite get what happened. She doesn't understand, and they really do a great job of showing very subtly how she's kind of dealing with this, and maybe not in such a good way, right? Little tiny nuances that are there in the artwork, the way her friend reacts to her drinking the wine, stuff like that, little things. The book was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't read Red Mother, read it. I would suggest it. And if you did read it, let me know what you thought. But what was your favorite comic book of the week last week? We got some answers flooding in. What's up, Carlos? How are you doing? Sam Fett says Flash, of course. Flash was pretty solid. Flash has been a great book. It's been very consistent since Joshua Williamson took over the title when Rebirth started. That was fantastic, and it's maintained a level. It hasn't always been the best book on shelves, but it's never really been the worst books on shelves. Sometimes some stories go a little too long for me. However, I will say that Joshua Williamson's Flash run has been the most consistently fun run since, to me, Jeff Johns. And that's the Wally West Jeff Johns run that I'm talking about. Daniel says Batman's Grave. I really thought issue 3 was probably one of the strongest issues of that series yet. I know we still got 9 to go, but I'm loving it. I think Brian Hitch is doing some really good artwork for what he's been pumping out in recent years. He's really turned the curve around, I would say. I think when he was trying to do writing and illustrating, I think split his focus too much. Ever since he kind of let go of writing Justice League and he went on to Hawkman, I feel like the artwork has been not quite like it was back in his heyday of like the Ultimates or the Authority, but he's definitely better in some technical aspects, I would say, for sure. The artwork's not as smooth. It's a little bit more angular now, and that's a little something, but I think he's getting back to that Brian Hitch that we loved back in the early 2000s, late 90s. Chris says, Red Mother was cool. Comic Corp says, pick of the week for me was Batman Curse of the White Knight. It was another exceptional issue of that series. It's been a very good series. Carlos, Something is Killing the Children. Advanced the story nicely. I would say that was the pick of the week. Cool. Carlos, it's a fantastic book. That was like the one book, I think, in last night's chat that we all read and we all loved. So Something is Killing the Children is something that's very special, that's hitting all kinds of comic book fans. This week sees the release of my top 10 comics of 2019. Something is Killing the Children's not on it, because I got a kind of a rule where a story has to have completed at least its first arc, right? Endings are super important. And if I'm doing a top 10, end of the year list, I don't want like the next 2 issues of Something is Killing the Children to just be like, what? And then I'm like, Anyway, so a book has to have at least finished an initial story or something like that. I don't know. It's a weird rule. But I guarantee you Something's Killing the Children's coming out on that list next year because, so that there's a lot of stuff like Once and Future, Something is Killing the Children, The Plot. These are absolutely fantastic books, but I got to see how they stick that landing on the initial arc. Logan, Once and Future. Didn't come out this week, but did you read an older one or something like that? That's a fantastic book, though. I love it. Tom, what's up? Hey, Robbie, just got around to reading Test 5. Is that how it really ended, or was that a misprint? Did you get a copy that had repeated pages in it? Because that's not how it actually ends. But if you have one that has like 20-something, all unique and different pages, definitely. It was a misprint, though, if you have repeated pages. It was apparently a very, very minuscule number of copies that made it out that way. But happened to be the one I picked up. Chris says, Gideon Falls always takes it. It's always a fantastic comic book day when Gideon Falls comes out, because Gideon Falls raises the bar and sets the level so high. And I think we're in I don't want to be that guy to be like, we're in a golden age of comics. I think we're always in a golden age of comics. Comics are badass, right? But I think they're really the quality of comic books and the diversity in storytelling. Like how many different types of stories that are being told as year by year goes on and TV and movies become more predictable. And I'm not necessarily talking about the mainstream superhero comic books, but the other comic books, those are some really fresh, exciting ideas and interesting genres. There's all kinds of stuff, way more than superheroes. And I think comic books have just been, I think some of the indie scene, the creator-owned stuff has been some of the best. And it's no surprise that that's fueling kind of television now. In a way, it's starting, I should say. Like they're going more to graphic novel sources, creator-owned sources to try to work on television. At the Mountains of Madness. Didn't read that one. That was a graphic novel, right? Robbie, I picked up the Momoko Red Mother variant. Yeah, that was a really cool, creepy cover. Harley Quinn Villain of the Year. Well, I don't know if you're trolling, but if you aren't, that's cool. Carlos said, also, X-Force, in my opinion, keeps setting the tone for the overall Dawn of X books. That was an intense issue. Loved it, too. Yeah, X-Force is probably... It and Marauders are my 2 favorites. Though I am liking Hickman's X-Men, too. And I'm liking... I don't know, Fallen Angels and Excalibur are kind of dying out for me just a little bit. But we'll see what happens. Whoa, I got behind. Let's see. All right. What's up, S Squared? How are you doing? What's up, Brian? Reggie, Hoxpox hardcover, reliving the summer of 2019. Yeah, right. I got the hardcover over there. I haven't even removed the shrink wrap yet. I'm very much looking forward to it. I had just recently done a reread of the entire series when it finished, right before X-Men #1 came out. But I definitely want to read it in that hardcover. It looks cool. Live in Montgomery now, moving to Birmingham. Any ideas on the comic shops there? No, to be honest with you, I've never been to a comic shop in Birmingham. I'm that guy. People think that when I travel, I go check out comic shops, and I rarely do. The only other shops I really check out was when I go to Nashville. Sometimes I check out The Great Escape, but I even haven't been there in years. But it's something I should do. But usually when I go out of town, it's like there and back again. I'm usually just going for like a show or something like that. So I have no idea. I honestly don't. I know that we do mail order. I'll tell you that. S Squared, Gideon Falls, Wasted Space 12, both excellent issues. It's almost unfair on weeks when they come out, right? It's like top 5 guaranteed. What's up, Brian? Been slacking on reading the books this week. It happens. Sometimes you deserve a break from it. But don't sleep too long because there's a big week this week. C3, Diggin' TMNT, and Far Sector. Far Sector issue 2 was pretty decent. I thought it could have done a little bit more to keep the pace going. But they're still doing some real good world building in that one. And the art's fantastic. Hello all. What's up, CMA Thunder? Good football today. Loved Red Mother. Pick of the week. My pick of the week as well. That's awesome. Picked up a first issue of Something is Killing the Children. Brian, you have an awesome comic book on your hands there. What's up, 90MF? YouTube is 90, everybody. Don't forget. Yeah. I've been burned, Dylan, sometimes. You read a book, the first 2 or 3 issues are great, but then you're like, the next 2 suck, and the ending sucks and makes the whole book suck, right? So, you gotta watch out. Getting in on the early issue hype train. Because I see it. I see a lot of end of the year lists, and they're saying, something is killing the children and once and future in the plot. And I'm like, I get that. Those are some of the best comic books of the year. But I got to see how the whole thing, because, but I get it. You could just be looking at those specific issues. They're great, I think the whole story depends on whatever. Everybody's got their own different thing. I was basically just trying to explain why you wouldn't see those ones on my list this week. And by the way, this was the hardest year. There's, to narrow it down to 10, I had to leave off so many good comic books that I wanted to mention. I might have to shout out 20 honorable mentions. For instance, books that didn't make the list that were absolutely amazing this year. Wailing Blade. That's a fantastic one. Peter Cannon Thunderbolt. That one was a surprise, just awesome book. So there you go. Let's get through here. Oh, Dylan, I loved the Detective Comics by Tom Taylor. That was so much. I loved that issue. I thought it was great. It makes another strong case for Tom Taylor to be a Batman writer. I'm serious as hell. I think he should write an ongoing Batman book. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Chad, it was super fun having the chat last night. I really enjoy those things. I love hearing everybody talk about the comics, everybody's passion, everybody's excitement. It's so much fun. I almost started my TMNT read today, but then I remember the Cowboys were playing, so I did that instead. And now I gotta read 0 Hour, Crisis in Time. Why? Because we're filming a Comics Revisited this week. And Jelani read it, and he was like, man. Yep. He didn't like the reread, but I was like, hey man, we're the ones that decided let's cover all the Crisis events. That's on us. We knew what we were getting into. We knew 0 Hour was coming. Yeah, so you got people in here that like that issue of Detective. Let's see, Dying is Easy. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Banana Jester, I don't mind the idea of the season for a comic book. It's been done before, and I think it works. It's fine. It's not my pick, but it was fun. It's Harley hosting an award show for villains. One of the awards was the Has-Been Award instead of a Lifetime Achievement Award. Who won the Has-Been Award? And who won Villain of the Year? Was it Batman Who Laughs, or was it Luther, or was it Harley? 90MF Comics. When I travel, I always try to check out the different local comic shops. Yeah, I should too. I know that there's one in Birmingham called like Kingdom Comics or something like that. I don't know. That's the only name I can think of. Got a new long box. Been reorganizing everything. Well, Brian, that's always a fun bit. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. I mean that. Sometimes it's very fun to reorganize your comics. And my comics need an incredibly hard resort, like for sure. I don't know where anything is. I know where my FF number 5 is. But like I have other key issues that are just in there somewhere, and I have no idea where, and that's bad comic book collector, Robbie. All right. I've never gotten a book graded, no. I'm just not a graded comic book person. I actually, I'm that guy that like when I got my Fantastic Four number 5, I sat down and I read it. I don't know. I'm not like that. I do have a graded comic that someone gifted me one time. Someone gave it to me. It's a Venom Lethal Protector number 1 gold foil edition, CGC to 9.2. What's up, Robbie Bateman? How are you doing? What's going on? All right. I didn't read Criminal Macabre. I read it when it first initially started coming out, and I don't know, it was just never quite my cup of tea. So I didn't check out the new one. Hey, Reggie, have you read Descender? How about Little Bird? Agree with Robbie. Little Bird was an incredible series. Little Bird's one of my favorites of the year. Descender is one of my favorites of, like, what was it, whenever that year came out, that was my favorite. I love Descender, and I'm loving Ascender, too. Chris says he likes CGC for sign stuff. That makes sense. I mean, I have no problem with CGC. I have no problem at all. I understand it. It's just not something I'm personally into. Like I said, I read all my stuff, so I don't want it to be encased in something. Yeah, I need some boxes too. I really like those new BCW, like those plastic boxes that like stack and they interlock and all that kind of stuff. That's really cool. I like those. All right. Let's start looking at what's coming up this week, because I have promised you that this is a very, very big week in comic books, and I'm not kidding y'all. Not kidding at all. It's a huge week. It's because the week after is, Wednesday's on Christmas. Most shops are going to be closed in the United States, and the comic books, they'll be released on the 26th when they open up. But there's only going to be a handful of comics. So everybody's getting all their stuff out this week. Batman Who Laughs won the Villain of the Year. That makes sense. And Gentleman's Ghost won the Has-Been. That's kind of funny. That's fun. Don't sleep on the Gentleman Ghost. He's awesome. 90MF. I only have recently sent in a book from my collection. The only book I have sent is my Hulk 180. I opened it, read it, had to see that panel and stamp, came back in 8.0. I was so stoked. See, that's a great book. Like, maybe I should get some of my key FFs, because I got first Doom, I got first Black Panther, I got first Black Bolt, I got first Galactus and Surfer. But I don't know. I have this dream that I will one day complete the entire Fantastic Four run. And then I'm going to sit down and I want to read them all. And that's going to happen, damn it, one day. I wish I already would have picked up my one, though. That book's getting dumb. And that MCU movie, when they eventually announce and then release that, is not going to help. I was at the Heroes Con this year, and I was looking at Fantastic Four number 1s, and I was trying to, see, what it would be, And, man, oh, my God. For, 1.0s and 0.5s, wow. Wow. But, one day. And when I have my entire Fantastic Four run, I'll do a video after I read each single one or something. I don't know. Or at least definitely show it off. You know, Dylan, I'm only like 110 issues away from completing that run. Unfortunately, they're the most expensive ones. Realistically, though, I can get back to 60 pretty easy. I've got a lot of the keys already in the 40s. I don't have a first, like, Medusa yet. I've got the first Ronin. I've got some of the later ones, like First Ronin. I've got that. I got the first Him, which is Warlock or whatever. And the only one I have pre-issue, like 30-something, is 5. And that took me a while to work that one off. Anyway, from Dark Horse Comics this week, we got Count Crowley, Reluctant Monster Hunter #3, a book I really like, and I'm liking it a lot. However, this is what's going to happen this week. I think when I looked at the initial list, it was somewhere between 50 to 60 comics, and I was like, okay, that's just ridiculous. I don't know. Now, I do think that some of those Source Point Press and Scout Comics got pushed back because that's something that kind of happens. However, if the stack is way too heavy, I'm going to put some of them off and either do some of the ones that are just kind of run-of-the-mill or mediocre. I might set those ones more back to the end, but I don't know. We're going to see. So this week, a book like Count Crowley, Reluctant Monster Hunter, which I actually like, may get put on the back seat. Critical Role, Vox Machina Origins, #4, out this week. Invisible Kingdom, #8. Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy, #1, a new one by Jeff Lemire from the world of Black Hammer. That's right, it continues. Strayed, #5, which is the final issue of that series. Tales from Harrow County, Death's Choir, #1. And Witchfinder, Reign of Darkness, #2. That's from Dark Horse this week. Let's jump to a big dog right here. Let's go to Image. Image has, speaking of Jeff Lemire, Family Tree #2 out this week. Farmhand #12. Hardcore Reloaded #1. Heart Attack #2. The 4th trade paperback of Ice Cream Man, Tiny Lives. Middle West #13. Old Guard returns. That's right, the Greg Rucka series. Old Guard, Force Multiplied #1 out this week. Outpost Zero #14. That was a weird way to say 14. Pretty Violet #5. Project Xmas #1. It's the Secret Mark Miller book. What is it? Nobody knows. Maybe it's the Space Bandit Sharky the Bounty Hunter sequel. Like crossover type thing. Maybe. Maybe it's something else. Who knows? Savage Dragon 247, Safe Sex #4, and the Sonata trade paperback is out. That's a great book. From IDW Publishing, G.I. Joe #3, Glow vs. the Babyface #2, Magic the Gathering, Chandra #4. Mountainhead #3, a fantastic issue. I've read it, and it's balls to the wall awesome. Narcos #1 from the Netflix series, I believe. Read Only Memories #1 is a new one from IDW. Looks colorful and interesting. Star Trek Picard #2, Star Trek Year 5 #9, Star Wars Adventures #29, and Wellington #1 debuts. That's from IDW. From Dynamite, Black Terror. Nope, that's just some kind of special cover. See, Chastity #4 is out this week. Death Defying Devil #4. Vampirilla #6. And that's from Dynamite. From Boom Studios, we have Angel #8, continuing the Hellmouth crossover with Buffy. Firefly #12. Folklords #2. That's awesome. I loved issue #1. It made the pick of the week. Let's see if issue 2 keeps that momentum going. Heartbeat #2 is out this week. Dark Crystal, The Age of Resistance #4. Klaus, Life and Times of Joe Christmas #1. It's Dan Mora and Grant Morrison returning to Klaus, doing another Christmas holiday special. This one's going to be done sideways, like a calendar, and it's meant to be kind of like an Advent calendar or something like that, with a story per page per day or something like that. I'm always cool with the new Klaus. Lumberjanes #69, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #46. Snoopy, Beagle of Mars, original graphic novel for Peanuts. That sounds really cool. And Once and Future #5 is out. Before we get to the big two, let's go to some other small publishers. Angela De La Morte #2 is out this week. Black Stars Above #2 from Vault Comics. Blade Runner 2019 #5. Bloodshot #4. Cult Classic Creature Feature #3 from Vault. Unsacred #2. Money Shot #3. Rick and Morty, number 57. Roku, number 3. Shows End, number 5, and the show does end. Vampire State Building, number 3. Visitor, number 1, which is a new one from Valiant, and also from Mad Cave. Woven Heart, number 3. That's already a big week, and we haven't gotten to Marvel and DC. That is what makes it a big week. In particular, is Marvel and DC. Yeah, Narcos got a comic book. It seems like IDW, was that? It was IDW, right? They got like a deal with Netflix or something. Because they do the glow ones, right? All right, I missed some comments. If I did miss your comment and something you wanted to ask or whatever, just ask it again. Let's see here. And once again, we do appreciate you checking out the show. We really do appreciate all the support to our people over at Patreon, to our people over at the PCP Army, people that follow me on Twitter, people that watch these videos, you here in the live stream right now. We really do appreciate everything. Thank you so much for your support. You are the reason why we can do this, why we continue to do this, and why we want to do this. What's up, Stephanie? How are you doing? Yep, the final issue of Tom King's Batman for now, because he's got Batman, Catwoman coming up at some point. What's really crazy to me is that the hatred that some people have leveled at Tom King's Batman now towards the end of the run. You know, we're like, it's almost over, let's go. James Tynion's coming on. I've read the first 2 issues of James Tynion's run, and it's good, it's interesting, it's okay, but it's not like game-changing or anything like that, but it's some interesting stuff that's going on there, so. I have a first Ronin that has a small tear, though, on the top cover. Found it the day Stan passed, so it has some sentimental value to me because of it. Well, that's cool. What's up, Justin? Am I mostly a Ben Grimm fan? I love The Thing. I love the Fantastic Four. I actually am more of a fan of Reed Richards. Reed Richards is probably one of my absolute favorite superheroes. But I love Ben. Reed, Ben, Sue, Johnny. I love all 4 of them. But I actually am more of a fan of Victor over all of the 4, to be honest with you. But I did last week finally get a copy of Marvel 2-in-1 #1, The Thing and the Man-Thing. And I've been wanting this for a minute, but I've never really... I could have gone online and gotten it any time, but I was just waiting for it to come to my shop. It came in, I picked it up, I thought it was cool, and I got it on my background to show off. I'm going to try to start showing off some more of my fun collection, because watching Bueller's videos and other people's videos and stuff like that, I really, oh man, I got some cool stuff to show. It's all buried in boxes. Yeah, slowing down on modern, maybe moving more to digital on certain modern books, or just going trade only. You know, some things like that can really help you boost up some of the bits of your collection that you've been overlooking, you know, because had I had a more dedicated effort over the last 20 years, which there's no reason why I couldn't have, I could have a Fantastic Four run complete already. So Reggie, this is not the last live show of the year. I don't know. I wanted to do another Festivus one with me, Brooks, and Jelani. So we're going to try to do something in year related with me, Brooks, and Jelani. So there's going to be something. I'm planning on doing something like that. So hope it pans out and it works. But I do plan on being here. I don't know about next week, but there's 2 more Sundays, right? Yeah. So definitely the last Sunday of the year will be the last stream, probably. But not the last one of the year yet. Y'all stuck with me for a few more weeks. Why hasn't anyone written a story with the FF and the villain is the maker and Reed finds out who the maker is? Yeah, I know, right? They haven't come, and I almost like the idea that it hasn't happened yet, because it means that it didn't happen in a rushed way. But this is something we can be building up to it, right? So I'm really cool with that. We have seen stories in the past, though, where Reed has confronted an evil version of himself from another reality. The Dark Raider stuff, for instance, by Tom DeFalco and Paul Ryan from around, 95, 96, something like that, maybe 94. But that's some interesting, fun stuff. Yeah, I just don't know if we can do Festivus. Yeah, I don't know if we can do a Festivus one, because Jelani now works late. So we can do a Festivus stream probably on Festivus. But I don't know, it'd have to be so late, I think. I don't know. We're going to try to work out something. Maybe we'll do our Festivus stream, but not on Festivus, which would suck. But there are, 3 days, right? So, but there's like one official one. I don't know. What's up, Comics Misexplained? How you doing? Yeah, I would love to see Reed confront the Maker. And I think that Donny Cates is building the Maker up into a bigger threat. What's up, Roman? I want to read everything, but it's hard to decide what to keep. I keep first issues and keys, then wait for nice hardcovers, omnibus editions, etc. to collect long runs. That's cool. I used to be more of a trade paperback guy because they're cheaper, and things like that. But man, watching a lot of Jim Mintz videos lately, and just man, some of those omnibuses are really nice. Roger, I'm sorry if my volume's a bit low. I can boost it up a little bit. Check, 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 check. I don't want to have too much feedback loop or nothing, or too much grittiness. Yeah, if we do a Festivus live stream, we're definitely going to be sharing that one, letting everybody know. I love it so much. We did that last year. We aired our grievances. We did all that stuff. We didn't have a poll, but I used the Aquaman trident that I got back there as our Festivus poll, so I may do that again. A little bit of a letdown year for Mr. Jeff Johns. I'm interested to see what he does for DC come 2020. I think he's still going to be busy with the other things like Stargirl, and I think he's still attached to the Green Lantern Corps movie or something. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what he does. I think he's actually had a good year for what's actually come out. Like, I know only like 4 issues of Doomsday Clock have released or something like that. But, yeah, you bring the poll. Hell yeah. What was I saying? I got distracted by Festivus stuff. Oh, I think every issue of Doomsday Clock that released this year was amazing, and I think every issue of Shazam that released was amazing. So I think he had a pretty solid year, though not a very prolific year, I would definitely say. I'm very excited to see 2020 finally bring about 3 Jokers. At least that's what we all are assuming is going to happen, so we shall see. Homie, about Garrett Cole joining the Yankees, I'll tell you this. I agree with, was it Tim Kurchin, I think, said this? The Yankees are now the best team in baseball. Yeah, we are. I hate losing Didi, right? I hate that we gave something up. I mean, not necessarily in that, whatever. I hate that we don't have Didi, right? But having Garrett Cole has, oh, man, I'm so excited. Plus, we weakened our direct competition pretty much, and so that's just even better. And so I think it's going to be a bright 2020 for the Yankees, my friend. Roger, my week was fantastic. Had a great one. Real fun stuff. Had some relaxation. Tried to get caught up on some video work. I'm trying real hard to get caught up on Comics Revisited so we can start releasing that. Brian says, excited that Conspiracy is coming back to Xenoscope. I didn't finish the Thanos Rising book by Jason Aaron. I need to. I don't like, what was the artist? Is that Bianchi? I don't typically like him as an interior artist. Yeah, I'm very excited about the pitching. The pitching I thought was our biggest weakness in this year, so I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. Heck yeah. Donny Cates doing Thor, Chad, is absolutely amazing. I read the first issue, and it's really good. It's got a big moment in it that is going to have a lot of people talking. It's really cool. And it comes out January 1st, so we're very close to that. Like 2 weeks from this week, right? Hoping the Green Lantern Corps movie is great. I love the run on Hal Jordan and the GL Corps. With DC Rebirth, got bummed when it ended. A lot of people were liking that. No, Chris, that's not actually Shades talk, but I will say that nobody knows when the Illuminatus TV show is going to come out. It doesn't even have a network that it's attached to yet, but we know that this production company is doing it with, well, I can't remember the cat's name. Brian Taylor, I think. He was the director of Crank. He was the showrunner on Happy. So since he was the showrunner on a Grant Morrison book, but not the most Morrison-y Morrison book, but the show I hear got really even crazier and a little bit more Morrison-y than the TV show actually did, right? But yeah, I'm very excited for it. But no announcement on date or even channel or anything like that. It'll probably be on a streaming service, maybe even Sci-Fi Channel. Oh, heck yeah. Y'all should be jealous, man. Thor #1 was awesome. I can't wait to read it without squiggly-ass lines all across it and watermarks. And, like, you know, I read the first 2 issues of James Tynion's Batman. And, oh, thank you so much, Daniel. We really do appreciate that. Tom King's Batman is the cat's pajamas Bat Facts. Now, I'll say this. Overall, I am liking Tom King's Batman run. And then now that it's about to be all completed, I will do a big reread, though I still got Turtles to get through first. I'll do a reread, and I'll do like a retrospective review on it, you know, kind of thing. But right now, I am definitely still liking the direction. I just feel like a lot of it is stretched thin at times, right? So I think it's an inconsistent run issue to issue. It does read better in trade. For instance, The War of Joke and Riddles, I hated that book as I was reading it, issue to issue. I hated it. I hated it so much. When I reread it as a whole, I actually liked it. So I think I think the trade reading is going to be better for that one. But yeah, I think the biggest thing, like for instance, the biggest hurdle I had to get over with liking Tom King's Batman was I had to get over my preconceived notions of what you can do with a Batman story, what kind of story you can tell, right? So he's telling us a story about a Batman in pain. He's telling us the story that Batman has always been in pain, and Batman is pretty much a self-destructive thing that he's doing. It's almost like a slow form of suicide, right? So why not try, like, what if he actually tried to make, like, be happy? Like, Batman's not ever really tried to be happy, so I don't know. It was really, really cool. I liked it. Daniel says, only another super chat can challenge my Bat fact. Yeah, you're right. We really do appreciate it, Daniel. Thank you so much for that. I'm not big on getting more than one issue, but do you think it's worth picking up a second copy of Thor? I'm getting the A cover. Was on the fence if I should get a second copy of a variant or something. I don't know. It's going to be a heavily ordered book, so I don't know if it's going to be rare or if it's going to jump up in value. I can't reveal anything that happens in the issue, but some really cool stuff does happen. I don't know if that's going to push the market on it. I think this is going to be a heavily ordered book. So I would only recommend getting another copy if there's like a variant or something that you would really like to have. They should put a letters column back into the War of Jokes and Riddles. Thank you, Daniel. I really do appreciate that yet again. Daniel's making sure his bat fact stands true. They should put a letters column back into the comics every so often, especially if DC and Marvel. I enjoy reading the letters and what everyone thinks. Yeah, I loved it too. I I really, really, really love letters pages, and I never had a chance to get a letter printed. So I like to see that some of them have come back, mostly on books like at Image and stuff like that. So that's really, really cool. But yeah, I think Marvel and DC I think that'd be really cool for them to bring that back. Because it was a nice way to interact. Of course, now we have the internet and everything, but it was a nice way to kind of like interact and feel like you were friends, or at least, I don't know, like you were able to communicate with the editors and stuff like that. I don't know. I kind of think it's a lost art now, isn't it? But like I said, a lot of the Image books continue to keep it up, so that's really, really cool. So I agree with you, Justin. Stephanie says, interesting. I really struggled with the War of Jokes and Riddles as well, and the first 3 or 4 books of the run. Yeah, I really, early on, and I always wanted to do this, but go and pull all my reviews for each issue of Tom King's Batman, and you can see how I go up and down on it, right? But yeah, I started losing it because there was a lot of repeated dialogue, and I like that the dialogue has a lyrical flow, but there are moments where it got really, really obnoxious and annoying. For instance, some of the repeated lines in one of those issues where they go to or they break into the prison or something like that, whatever issue that was. Like in the trade collection, they remove all the repeated lines of Batman saying the same thing over and over and over again. So, but yeah, those first few books really ironed themselves out as I was reading it and understood what the story Tom King is trying to tell. He's telling a story about a Batman who's trying to be happy for the first time in his life. And it's not an easy thing for someone like him to do. What's up, Jerry? First time live. Thank you for being here. Turtles 100 was awesome. So glad I hopped on City of War. I'm going to be excited when I get caught up. Y'all are making me jealous. Love the content, Robbie. Always putting out great recommendations and indie titles to try out. Really enjoyed Red Mother this week from Boom. I'm glad you really liked it. Thank you so much. The Paper Girls letter page was amazing. Loved reading them almost as much as the actual series. Yeah, I used to be a big fan of the Bendis letters page that he used to do in Powers back in the day. I loved it because he would do this thing called No Life. And he would just write out little blurbs about movies, TV shows, books, comics, and music that he was into. And why. And it was so cool. Donny Cates does have the Midas touch. I just, in the long run, it's going to be a heavily ordered book, Thor #1. But in the short term, it may start getting some movement. With all the different variants, though, some variants may start seeing more movement. And I've started seeing more of a trend back towards cover A's. So be on the lookout for that. Now, I have read the first, I have read like the first 20 issues or so of Turtles, and I did like it. All right, where are we going? We're going to DC. Because it's going to be a big week from DC. All right, speaking of omnibuses, we got an Animal Man by Jeff Lemire omnibus coming out this week for $100. That's really cool. That's a great book. So definitely get in on that one, especially if you've been digging Jeff Lemire stuff recently. If you've never read his Animal Man run, it's pretty cool, and it's a great spiritual successor to Grant Morrison's run. Aquaman 55 is out this week. Basketful of Heads #3. Batman 85, that is the final issue of Batman by Tom King. Batman Last Night on Earth #3, which is the final issue of a Batman title by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo together. Not the final issue of them working on something together. Probably not the final issue of them working on something together that has Batman in it. But this is told as their last Batman story, their last statement on Batman. I've been loving it. Batman Superman #5 is out this week. Catwoman #18. Doomsday Clock #12. No lie, it is here. Flash Forward #4. Harleen #3, the final issue. He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse #2. The Infected, the Commissioner #1. This is the Infected one-shot that I'm most interested in. John Constantine Hellblazer #2. Joker Killer Smile #2. Justice League #38. Last God #3. Legion of Superheroes #2. The Low Low Woods, number 1, a new Hill House comic debuting. Lucifer, number 15. Metal Men, number 3. Nightwing, number 67. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, 102. Shazam, number 3. Suicide Squad, number 1, the new Tom Taylor relaunch of Suicide Squad. Superman Smashes the Klan, number 2. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 6. Teen Titans, 37. Wonder Woman, 83. Wonder Woman Dead Earth, number 1. It's a DC Black Label. I've read it, and it was awesome. The Wonder Woman Giant, number 2. Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen, number 1. And that's DC. That's a lot of damn books, y'all. And now we'll take a look at Marvel. Thank you so much, Comics Misexplained. Comics Misexplained is part of the PCP Army over at Facebook. That's right, the official PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. And seriously, Comics Misexplained does some of the absolute best content in the PCP Army. The memes that he makes and stuff like that, they're absolutely fantastic. They're funny, and you're such a valuable member of the PCP Army, and I really, really do appreciate that. And he says, we need to collab sometime, homie. Maybe we can get Chad 90MF in on the action too. Maybe talk about memes or something. We definitely should do something. I think that would be amazing. If Chad's in, I'm in. I'm in even if Chad's not, but I don't think he's that big of a D-bag. But I'm always into it. Let's see. I'm in. Let me know. Meme it up all day. Memes may be more your things, but I'll talk about whatever. I just like hanging out and chatting. Pontificating about pop culture. Dude, I keep seeing that Shredder in Hell. I want to read that one as well. Looks so dope. I'm so late to Turtle Comics. Was so glad I could jump on City of War. People really sleeping on it. Those deluxe editions that Jim's always talking about, Jim Mint over at his channel, they are really dope ass. And it's a good way to get caught up in a nice edition very quickly. What's up, old Adam? Hey, everyone. How's the PCP Army doing tonight? I think the PCP Army's doing just fine. Especially now that you're here. The art on Skulldigger looks real nice indeed. Because I don't know how to say that dude's name. Or her name. Or I don't know. Is it he, she, they? I don't have no idea. But I don't know how to pronounce the name. Tansi Sanjik. I have read the first issue of that book. And the artwork is fantastic. I think 90MF just left, so thank you so much for joining us, homie. It's always a pleasure. Daniel says, don't sleep on Jones's Catwoman. I really liked what I read at first, and it just hit one of those weeks where it was super big. Like, any book this week from DC or Marvel that is like, near the line, they're going to have a bad week on me this week because, there you go. Oh, thank you so much, Reggie. Always going far and beyond. Far and beyond. Far above and beyond. Thank you so much, Reggie. We really do appreciate that. Y'all are the best. Got to get grades in. Hope you all have an awesome new comic book day next week. You too, Reggie. It's a big one. CMA Thunder says he's doing well, Adam. He's watching football and me. Well, thank you for that. Who's playing tonight? For Marvel Comics this week. Bear with me. There's a lot of it. 2099 Omega, number 1. I've made it this far. Should I finish? Ugh, I've hated that stuff. Agents of Atlas, number 5. Amazing Spider-Man, number 36. Annihilation Scourge, Omega, number 1. I loving that one right now. Avengers 28. Black Panther 19. Conan, the Serpent War, number 2. Daredevil, number 15. The Eternals, number 1, facsimile edition. If you've never read this book, definitely check out this first issue because, of course, there's a movie coming out. Plus, it's also Jack Kirby goodness. Eternals, Secrets from the Marvel Universe, number 1. Excalibur, number 4. Fallen Angels, number 4. Yeah. How much bullshit is this? Every single Dawn of X book comes out this week. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So anyway, Excalibur, number 4. Fallen Angels, number 4. Future Foundation, number 5. Ghost Spider, number 5. Guardians of the Galaxy, number 12. That's Donny Cates' final issue. Gwenpool Strikes Back, number 5. History of the Marvel Universe, number 6. Invaders, number 12. Lots of finales this week, including King Thor, number 4. Marauders, number 4. Marvel Tales Annihilation, number 1. New Mutants, number 4. Revenge of Cosmic Ghost Rider, number 1. Runaways, number 28. Scream, The Curse of Carnage, number 2. Spider-Man, the Abrams kid, daddy and son doing that one. Spider-Man, number 3. Spider-Man Velocity, number 5. Star Wars Empire Ascendant, number 1. Star Wars The Rise of Kylo Ren, number 1. Tony Stark Iron Man, number 19. A bunch of True Believers related to Cosmic Marvel. Those are really, really fun stuff. And X-Force, number 4. So I did read about this. It's every X book this week except for X-Men because that got delayed a little bit. Well, thank God. X-Men has had a few delays. Here we go. What's up, Jonathan Strickland? How are you doing? And once again, thank you so much, Reggie, and Comics Misexplained, and Daniel. We really do appreciate the super chats. Y'all are part of the reason why we're able to do what we do. And we really do appreciate it. I'm doing great, Jay Strick. How you doing? The Cowboys pulled out a hearty victory today when we needed it the most. So I'm very excited for the showdown set up next week. Adam says, been picking up Catwoman since issue number 1. Just listening to you read through all the DC books has me dizzy and my wallet running. Yeah, right? There's a lot of Black Label books, too. It's basically 2 weeks' worth of releases all shoved into 1 week. Oh, the Bills in Pittsburgh. Oh, man. Heck yeah. That's right. I saw that earlier. Yeah, you know he's molding the minds of tomorrow's leaders. Yeah, the Marvel list is probably longer. And what's even crazier is some of those are really long. So, like, when I want to take home all these books, how am I supposed to read Superman Smashes the Klan number 2? That's like an 80-page comic or something. Maybe 60. I don't know. I think it was 60. But still, it's a huge ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Comics Misexplained and Reggie are both not only super chatters, but also patrons of PCP. They're generals in the PCP army. Sam, I got a brew. It's a local beer. It's an IPA. It's called Monkey Knot. It's from Straight to Ale. And Comics Misexplained, we got some really cool things happening for 2020 for the Patreon page. So be on the lookout for that. And there should be an after hours this week if I actually remember to do it. So that's why I'm writing it down right now. We just released our video games podcast. It was like 2 hours long, and there was stuff that we didn't get to. So we went on a little bit longer into the after hours talking about the subject of video games and other things. So very excited about that episode. If you're not on Patreon, you can join up for just $1 a month, right? And you get access to like everything that's on Patreon, right? Because, we're not stingy. If just you supporting us is cool. So what you get is you get early access to certain videos like Comics Revisited when that stuff is back. You get early access to the weekly comic book review through a downloadable audio file that's available hours before the video goes live here on YouTube. And there's also the PCP After Hours podcast, which is a Patreon exclusive. After we do a podcast, we keep the mics going for about 20 minutes or so, and we just keep the conversation going. And we just keep talking, and who knows what we're going to say. It's unedited, it's uncensored, all that stuff. Of course, our podcast is pretty much unedited, uncensored, recorded live, and all that stuff. But we have a lot of fun doing it, so there's a lot of exclusive content there. It's available just for $1 a month. So we really do appreciate everybody that's over there. There's a list right there. We got to add TJ to that list for sure. Totally forgot to do that. Got to write that one down too. Anyway, that's patreon.com/PCP. And we really appreciate it. But just watching these videos, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff is support enough. I don't think we don't appreciate it, because we do. We thank you. You know, I wasn't feeling Harleen, but Killer Smile is, I am loving that book. I think it's amazing. Yeah, a lot of Black Label. Luckily, I have already read Wonder Woman Dead Earth #1, so I think I may skip the reread this week, because it is long and dense. It's from the cat that did Murder Falcon. I met him this year. What was his name? Daniel Warren Johnson, something like that. I always get him confused with Philip Kennedy Johnson, who does Last God, who also has an issue. There's like a bunch of Black Label books, you know. There's like 2 Hill House books. There's the Low Woods, and there's Basketful of Heads #3. And then there's The Last God. There's the new Wonder Woman book. It's fantasy. It's really cool. It's really cool. And Killer Smile, Harleen wraps up. But we already have heard that Stepan Sujic, I believe is his name, has already got a sequel kind of tie-in type thing planned called Isley. That's about Poison Ivy, obviously. Yeah, the week of the 26th is going to be light. Like, I think Marvel's only book is going to be Incoming, but that's going to set up the new the first Marvel event of 2020 called Empire, which is probably going to be written by Al Ewing. Where's my X-Men comic? Well, it's written by Jonathan Hickman, so it's gonna have some delays. They're not going to be quite as bad, I don't think, as Doomsday Clock, though. I'm so excited for that book wrapping up this week. That's probably the book I'm most excited for, and probably the thing that I would say pick of the week alert. But there's a lot of good stuff out this week. Not only is there a lot of books, I mean, there's a lot of good books. So it's going to be hard to get out of the comic shop this week without spending a shit ton of money. I'm excited to see how nuts issue 2 of Killer Smile is going to be. Me too, Dylan. Me too. Fantastic stuff. All right. We're about to start the second part of the show. We're going to be talking about our favorite publisher of the year. So think about who your favorite publisher is, and go ahead and let me know down in the comments below, and we'll chat about that. We'll be right back. I'm going to leave you here for just a moment on a picture of me and Brooks from the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo this year. And be sure to join us there at the show next year. So I'll be right back. Y'all keep it real. And don't steal. I don't know, because I'm leaving, right? So don't steal any of my stuff. But that's why I'm putting up the picture of me and Brooks. Anyway, I'll be right back. And welcome. And welcome back. Here to Pop Culture Philosophers, Rockin Robbie Live. So, we're back here for the second half of the show. After a small little break. And I asked everybody what your favorite publisher of the year was. So, let's get that conversation going. I see some responses already. And we'll get to it in just a second. But first, I wanted to show off this scarf that I got. It's a Star Trek scarf that I got at work in the Secret Santa from my homie Nathan. So, it says live long and prosper. It's got the science division sigil, and it's Star Trek. It's a Spock scarf, basically. I don't have a scarf. I've never owned a scarf. This is my first scarf, and I think it was an awesome gift. So, I wanted to show it off and give Nate a shout out. So, thank you so much, Nate. I really do appreciate it. When I got it, I had to have a conversation with my associates at work about how you properly wear a scarf. And apparently there's a lot of different ways to do it. So anyway. All right. Let's see some of the responses for pick of the week. I see some people, did I say writer? If I said writer, I meant publisher. I don't know. We can talk about whatever though. All right, here we go. CMA Thunder says boom, 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 easy. Brian comes back to empty room and puzzled look. That would be funny. Yeah, y'all could do that. How dare you go to a break? Dan Brooks, glorious. Oh, I see. I come back and all my stuff is gone somehow. Oh, yeah. Well, that would be how would that happen? Well, that's a Teen Dog Shades night. There'll be one more Teen Dog Shades live stream this year, by the way. But it's not going to be all about crazy, Robbie's conspiracy theories. Because I don't really think I'm a conspiracy theory guy. I just like researching them. All right. Brian says, and I'm going to let Brooks see that compliment, Stephanie, because Brooks doesn't understand what he did to everybody when he cut his hair. Brian says, honestly, I have to put more Aftershock titles on my pool than any other company. Aftershock did some great stuff this year. They're a great publisher. Dylan thinking that I said writer. Maybe I did say. I don't know. Donnie Cates for Marvel. Tom Taylor for DC. That's good, too. Go ahead and throw them in. Who are your favorite writers of the year? Comic book writers. I got to think about that. I didn't think about that. Dylan also says he thinks Brian Hill's American Carnage was one of the best books of the year. Rest in peace, Vertigo. Well, it lives on, doesn't it? Not only in things like DC Black Label, but also in companies like Aftershock and Vault Comics, stuff like that, right? Comics Misexplained, very interested to hear this answer. Vault, Scout, and Action Labs are very underrated, and I hope more people read those books. Boom and Aftershock are always good, too. Very hard to pick a favorite. Well, goddammit, you have to. Do it. See, that's funny because I revealed my favorite publishers of the year on Bueller's Comics and Coffee show last week, and I have a tie. So I'm telling you to pick one. Chris says Marvel for sheer number of good titles, but Boom a close second. There you go. CMA Thunder says, Justin, are you referencing the Meatloaf song? Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see that. Yeah, Dylan. Loved American Carnage. Wish it would get turned into an HBO show. That'd be cool, right? Brian says, yeah, I really liked Scout as well. Stephanie says, big year for Bendis. I think DC bested Marvel this year with quality books. S Squared says, agreed. All right, let's see. All right, Publisher of the Year. Who's your favorite publisher and writer of the year? Brian says, scarves are versatile as fuck. Okay, I dig it. I dig it. David says, I like what Vault has been doing this year. Their horror books are great. Yeah, Vault had a really, really strong year. I did a tie between Vault and Boom because it was really hard for me to pick between those two. Vault had completed some books this year that were astounding that they established earlier last year, right? Friendo, Fear Escape, These Savage Shores, for instance. But they had a successful launch of other titles that were amazing. Maul, The Plot, Sarah and the Royal Stars, Resonant. I liked She Said Destroy and Queen of the Damned a lot. So there were so many, and it was really hard to not make my top 10 of the year be all Vault books. But I will tell you this. I think Boom had, first of all, Vault, to me, has the most comics on my top 10 of the year, okay, out of any other publisher. I think it's 4. So, Boom has none, I don't think, because those books haven't completed their first arcs. So to me, it's like Boom turned a corner this year. But the gear shift that Boom did this year was substantial, and it was a big deal. And it went through from their licensed properties from the earlier parts of the year, all their Power Ranger stuff. Their success with Power Rangers led to their success with Buffy and Angel, and other stuff like that. They're a very diverse company. They have a line for kids. They have a line for middle grade and stuff like that. And that's stuff that you're seeing like bigger publishers duplicate now, you know? And so Boom is really game-changing. And every launch that they've done this year has hit and has hit the industry and has hit it hard. Something is Killing the Children, which Jay Strick said is to him is the best comic book of the year. Once and Future, Heartbeat, Red Mother. These are still new books, you know. Strange Skies Over East Berlin maybe didn't hit quite as hard as Something is Killing the Children and Once and Future, but just as good. Such an amazing comic book. So Boom, it's like, to me it's Vault's year, but then Boom came in and was like, boom, don't forget about us. And then wound up in a tie coasting in with Vault for me. If you get that. Kira La Kira, a nice gift. Yeah, it was. Sam Fett says, got to give it to DC this year. Justin says, I'm going to say Abstract Studios, Terry Moore. Hell yeah. A hometown boy. Hermione O, Boom Studios, hands down. Tyler says best writer of the year is Morrissey. I was about to get to that too. That's my pick for best writer of the year is Michael Morrissey. And I would say Michael Morrissey this year. Last year I had Jeff Lemire, and Jeff Lemire did not stop his quality of production or quality at all this year, right? But Michael Morrissey had the continued success of Wasted Space, which to me is one of the best books on shelves. And more people need to read that book. Wasted Space is such a great book, and it's a necessary book, I think. But he also launched Maul and The Plot, and that was some really, really good stuff. And he also is doing some work on Star Wars. He did The Flight of the Falcon. It's Star Wars Adventures, right? So it's the all-ages Star Wars book at IDW. But he's on it currently right now telling a short story with the droids on it. But he did Flight of the Falcon, which is a really cool book, story that's about the different pilots of the Millennium Falcon through the years and stuff like that. Michael Morrissey is a hell of a talent. He just did the Beta Ray Bill one-shot. What was his first Marvel comic book was last week, and it was great. So really excited for Michael Morrissey's future in this industry, and I think to me, I agree with you, Tyler. He's the writer of the year. Okay, we got oh man, I'm so far behind y'all. Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, right? Yeah. If I miss your comment, just throw it back. Brian says Christopher Cantwell, writer of the year. Chris says Lemire for sure. Stephanie says Aftershock upset me when they didn't renew Second Sight, one of their original books. Delightful. David Hine had a nice concept and characters. It sucks when our favorite books get, pushed aside. It really does. And sometimes there's just a financial reason for that. But I never read that one. I'd have to check it out. Let's see. Brian says, yeah, Vault killed it. Like The Plot a lot. Samuel says, boom. Stephanie says, Black Hammer's various series continue to be high on my life, although that DC crossover was a little thin. It was. Comics Miss Explained says, Bone Parish was good. Would like to see that be a show as well. Iron Galactus dropping in late to the stream. Glad it's still going. Well, thank you for being here, Iron Galactus. CMA Thunder says, Boom for sure in 2020. Dennis says, Boom, definitely Publisher of the Year. Let me sleep on it. Daniel says, Trad Moore for Artist of the Year. Nothing can touch Silver Surfer Black. That's a fantastic choice for Artist of the Year. That was some next level work, I think. Dylan says, Boom Studios has been dropping nothing but fire emoji. I got to get into the Vault books more. I know you're always raving about them, Robbie. I missed the plot, heard good things, was sad my shop didn't have it. You got to order it. They're not going to just stock it. They should, but they just don't know, I guess. Yeah, you should request it. I'll tell you this, though. There's one more issue in the first arc. Then there will be a trade. So you can to still get the issues online, I'm pretty sure, relatively cheaply. They did 2 printings of issue number 1. So you can either go that route or just wait and get the trade. I think the trade comes out like in March or something. I don't know. It has been extended. The plot, Money Shot, and Sarah and the Royal Stars have been extended into a longer form series. I hope to hear an announcement about Resonant on that soon. Comics Miss Explained says he thinks Writer of the Year would be either Lemire or Hickman. Those are both great choices, especially Hickman. Tyler, Vault for me, more quality titles. Wasted Space seals the deal, even though it's not a new title this year. It's not new, but they did have their second arc, and they started their third arc, and I think the second arc was even better. Amazing stuff. I like seeing all the Meatloaf lyrics come through. Iron Galactus. Boom was good. I did love me some Wasted Space and Sarah and the Royal Stars, though. Heck yeah. People were very hot and cold on Silver Surfer Black. Yeah, I get that. Trad Moore has such a unique and different style. A lot of people want their comic books to kind of have a certain Jim Lee, Neil Adams, Ivan Reis kind of aesthetic to it, right? A more typical superhero book. Trad Moore is not that. Like, I saw people in the PCP Army when it first came out, they were posting up saying, like, who taught this cat anatomy? And I'm like, it's style. It's style over anatomy. He knows his anatomy, so he knows how to twist and bend it. See, like, that's the beautiful thing about an artist. Like, you do learn anatomy, and then you can twist and bend it. There are tons of comic book images that the anatomy is completely off, but an artist who knows what they're doing knows how to twist it. Trad Moore is such a brilliant artist, and he's so stylized. Style is subjective, so that's why more stylized artists are more kind of split, I would say. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think Trad Moore is one of the best artists out right now, and I think you guys are right. I think Silver Surfer Black is one of the. There's a lot of beautifully illustrated books this year. Little Bird for one, for sure. These Savage Shores. I really think Silver Surfer Black is strong. It didn't make my top 10, but it almost did. Only one mainstream book made my top 10. Only one Big 2 book. And it wasn't that one, but it almost was. That book was really, really good. Iron Galactus Vault all day long. Dylan, Sarah by TKO, Robbie. I really enjoyed that series. Heard Jim raving about TKO series 2 books. Really want to give a big TKO to send me some trades to review for the channel. From Wave 2, I really, really liked Sentient. I thought Sentient was really, really good. The Sarah book from Wave 1 by Garth Ennis was amazing. Those are the 2 best ones for me, Sarah and Sentient. But I think we were talking about Sarah and the Royal Stars, the fantasy book from Vault. Well, see, here's the difference, Iron Galactus, is that Rob Liefeld, it is a style, right? So Rob Liefeld Rob Liefeld knows anatomy to a point, but he doesn't. I don't know. That wasn't him trying to twist anatomy to fit a style. That was him being lazy. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's one of my problems with Rob Liefeld is I think he's a lazy artist that could do a lot better. I've seen Rob Liefeld images that look amazing. I think he's lazy. I think a lot of those 90s hot artists got lazy. And the thing is, Liefeld can't draw feet, and some people have weaknesses, right? But did you try to get better? But Rob Liefeld to me, and I don't know the cat, and I hear he's a very good dude. I hear he's really, really just a positive, fun, good dude. But to me, he, along with a lot of other artists, they stopped developing, And Tradd Moore to me keeps developing, and there's something about the way he twists and works with the anatomy and the perspective. The way he does that together is what separates something like Tradd Moore from a Rob Liefeld to me. I don't think Tradd Moore is a lazy artist whatsoever. I think that every line is so meticulously thought out and planned out and plotted. It's worlds difference to me. Have you read the Flash series? Is it any good? And how good is Marauders? Is it good? I love Marauders. I think it's great. That's a good one to get into and easy to get into now because it's only a few issues in. Flash has been very good and very consistent, but the problem is it's only like issue 84. It's been telling one kind of big story, but it's been really fun and really cool. You can jump in at the beginning of any new story, but I would highly recommend to go back and start with Joshua Williamson's first book on Flash, which was the start of Rebirth, and go right in. So there you go. Well, Daniel, I do know that he does get on Twitter, and he does get a little toxic sometimes. It seems. He's a very opinionated dude, and I think he gets bitter and angry because I think he deals with a lot of hate. Probably, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the guy. I just hear that like he genuinely in a personal setting is a friendly, good dude. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know the cat. I'm not a fan of his work, to be honest. I do like his Captain America run for a weird nostalgic kind of reason. I don't know, but it's not good. Is that the Thing Holding Up a Thing book? Yeah, it's a thing holding up a thing meeting the Man-Thing comic book, and that's the thing, my friend. Where can I find the first of series? Because my shop that I go to only usually has the newest ones. Many places online, Bradley. I like mycomicshop.com. That's Lone Star Comics out of Texas. They're a really cool resource that I like to use online. There's tons of shops that do mail order stuff. Check eBay. eBay's a great place. Lots of smaller shops and middle-sized shops and even big shops do business on eBay. Midtown Comics, I hear, is a really good source. I've never personally gotten anything from them. So I recommend My Comic Shop and trusted sellers on eBay. That Captain America wasn't exaggerated. Captain America was jacked in his view. Yeah. Liefeld is his own biggest fan. I know legitimate Rob Liefeld fans. I do. I know legitimate Rob Liefeld fans. And I have seen artwork from Rob Liefeld that is good, but I don't think he ever developed further than what was necessary to get the job done at the time. And, who knows? If you want to understand a great artist, tell me how well you can differentiate the characters in the story. Some books you lose track of the story trying to figure out who is who. I understand that. But then you have other people that I would say have, and I guess there are artists that have different strengths, like to me, Steve Dillon and John Romita Jr. are masters. And I guess in Dillon's case was, unfortunately, that we lost him. But Steve Dillon, John Romita Jr. are two artists to me that are absolutely exceptional at the technique of telling a story through a series of images, and making those images look consistent, clean, and clear and precise. But they have each like 4 stock faces that they draw, and they draw them with different hairstyles, and that's how they populate their world. The good ones learn those tricks. you know, putting a different hat, putting a different hairstyle. But if you look at Preacher or Punisher, look at Punisher by Steve Dillon, and then look at The Saint of Killers by Steve Dillon. It's the same face. You get what I'm saying? So I guess there are other artists that, you know, they're very strong in one technique or certain aspects of it. But art itself is subjective, and so people are going to like what they're going to like. And you can't really define whether something is good or bad art objectively. It's a subjective thing. So I know a lot of people that hate John Romita Jr. and hate Steve Dillon because they don't like art that to them is a little bit simpler. And I understand that. I look at it in a different way, and I'm like, look how they're telling the story. Look at that panel composition. Look how the flow of it. Like, if you want to know how to tell a story through motion in comics, through a series of images, study John Romita Jr.'s Spider-Man work from the 90s and early 2000s. That stuff is genius as far as that goes, in a Will Eisner-y type way. Without being too tricky, but being very classic and very consistent, very solid with it. So, you know, Rob Liefeld has certain strengths, I guess. Rob Liefeld's strength is power and explosive action. But it doesn't come across most of everything. And like Dylan said, hit that thumbs up button, everybody, and we really appreciate it, and it helps everybody out. All right. Also, the Allreds are super stylized. Yeah, and I love it. I love the Allreds. Mike Allred's one of my favorite artists. Period. Terry Dodson faces are so soft. He also just draws the same couple faces, too. I'm not the biggest Dodson fan, but he's not a bad artist. Nor is that's his wife, right? His partner. Matt says, actually like 80s John Romita Jr. better over the 90s. I like his later part of the 90s stuff. I really like his Thor run. I think Thor was, because I never liked him drawing bigger characters. It always seemed really, he's got a blocky style. And like, I don't mind it. When I was a kid, I really did not like it. And, oh, thank you so much, Daniel. It says Clayman and T. Morey, Batman 78-79 Art of the Year. Well, that's Daniel's pick, and I guess it's going to stand unless another Super Chat challenges that. You like the Silver Surfer run he did? Oh, yeah, the Allreds. Yeah, that's good stuff. The 80s John Romita Jr. stuff didn't grab me near as much as when he did Spider-Man and Thor. That's when I really became a fan of him, but then I went back and I was able to appreciate things more. I love his Punisher stuff. I think that stuff's really cool. Tyler's got some nominations for Best Artist of the Year. Trad Moore, Marco Cicchetto, and Clay Mann. They have had great years. I think Mitch Gerrits did some good stuff this year. Most of it was fill-in issues on Batman. I think Trad Moore was just amazing. Sumit Kumar, Ian Bertram, Sean Murphy. That's some fantastic art in comics this year. Andrea Sorrentino. Oh, hell yeah. I only read the first bit of Allred's Surfer. I want to get that omnibus and read it all, though. Because I hear it's really good. I dropped out of it pretty quickly because I was like, oh, this is just like Doctor Who. And Dan Slott gets a little verbose at times. And so it was an easy one to drop at the time, even though I'm a huge Allred fan and it got late or something. I don't know. Something happened. I got lost in it. But I've always intended on going back. And I even went back and revisited a little bit of it one time, because I heard about that issue that kind of like wraps around itself, and that was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, Allred on Catwoman's been really good. Yeah, I hear really good things about that run. All right, it's time for show and tell, y'all. I got something this week that I'm so damned excited and happy for. It's my very first and probably only 112 collective action figure, whatever you want to call it. Toy, whatever, right? And it's probably one of my absolute favorite Marvel characters. It's Blade. So if anybody's familiar with these 112 collected things from Mezco Toys, they are absolutely amazing. They are incredibly posable and detailed. They come with so many parts and moving pieces. They have real clothes. So I guess it's kind of more like a doll, whatever. But you can look on the back here, and that's what's inside of here, is this badass Blade. It even comes with 4 pairs of shades, I guess, in case you lose one. So we're going to open this up a little and take a look at it. And then you'll see it in the background of the set, I'm sure. Ramita needs to do some non-superhero stuff. That would be cool. Shannon Mayer may be my favorite new artist. Dave Stewart, I think, is the best colorist of 2019. Still debating best artist. Dave Stewart's one of the best colorists in comic books, period. Iron Galactus. I liked Assad Ribbick's interiors. Thor was good, and so was Versus from Image. Versus was beautiful, even though the story wasn't great. Yeah, this Blade is badass. So let's open it up and take a look. This has been opened one time before. When it first came in the shop, we opened it up to take a look, but I didn't really pull it out or nothing. That sounded inappropriate. It looks so damn good. Mezco is great. I've got their Judge Dredd figure. Yeah, we've had a few of them in the shop, and they all look super, super cool. What? I'm the biggest Blade fan. Is this an older action figure? I had a dope Blade figure when I was young. I probably have that figure. It used to be right there, but I put the Hulkbuster Iron Man up there. But yeah, I'll show off some of my Blade stuff one day for sure. I've showed it off before, but I love my Blade stuff. I'll put a lot of it on the set soon. This might be the coolest show and tell ever. Maria Lovett is a great artist, by the way. So says Justin. Whoops. All right. He's got 4 pairs of shades, his sword, 2 of the cool little spinny things. He's got a bunch of different stakes. Yeah, little silver stakes right there. He's got a bunch of different hands. Some effects to look like his gun's going to blast off. Blast off? Fire, I guess. And I believe the base and the coat are on the other side of the thing. So let's try to get this Blade figure out. Just take a look at him. Oh, man. Look at that. Look at that. We got this annoying ass plastic on it. It's a plastic girdle. There we go. Looking pretty dope. Actual clothes, shirt, whatever. There's another head where he's got his vampire fangs out, so that's cool. Okay, I found the coat. So the coat's in there, right there. And then on the inside is the base and the guns and a little stand. So we're obviously not going to be able to get this all pulled out. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and make people watch me for like an hour as I get this all figured out. But there's his coat right there. This shit's got a zipper on it, y'all. This just got a real zipper on it. Holy crap. That's got a real fucking zipper on it, y'all. Look at that. Holy cow. That's ridiculous. That's awesome. It's got the red interior. Oh, that's so badass. See if we can get the coat on real quick. Ugh, I don't want to break it. Almost. Come on. Oh, man. It's like a real damn coat. I'm sure this is exhilarating. Let's see. Tyler, Frizen is legit. Yeah, Frizen's a great cover artist of the year. Yeah, the detail on the face is amazing. Okay, so I got the jacket on him a little bit there. So let's put on some shades. Because to really get that blade look, you got to get the shades on there, right? Oh my God, y'all. Look at that. How cool is that? And like I said, he's got his sword, he's got his guns. Here's the actual sword. There's even nice detail on the hilt and everything. This little scabbard, and there's an attachment where you can put it on his back. So just imagine, you know. And it even comes, there's a, yeah, this is going to be badass. I can't wait to really get into this. Yeah, anyway, that's the Blade figure. How cool was that? So show and tell. Got that this week. It's kind of like my Christmas present. Loved it. And that brings us to the end of the show. So get your final thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, and all that stuff in right now. I appreciate y'all's patience with the Blade figure. It's pretty badass. It may be the best piece in the collection, to be honest. This dude, he's got an actual effing zipper on him. I can't wait to set that up and have some fun enjoying this one for the next bit. That's a great figure. Fantastic. I got a Michael Jackson doll like that in 85 with all the zippers. Christmas is the best, even at 40. Yes, it is. See you, Daniel. Thank you so much for the super chats. Blade Talk is real talk. Alex Ross, my favorite cover artist, no doubt. Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much, Dylan. Got some love for Art Germ there. Alex Ross is amazing. Did y'all check out the Marvel's Comics Revisited that we did, me and Jelani? Oh, thank you so much, Sam. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dylan. I thank everybody for being here. Like I said, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can support us over at Patreon like these esteemed gentlemen right there, as you can see them. David, Alex, Adem and beyond, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Brian, Reggie, Robert, Javi, Peter, Dunlaney, and TJ. Don't worry, we'll get your name on there soon. Definitely by next time. So anyway, thank you so much. You can join the PCP Army. It's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can do that. Lots of exclusive content over there. We share fun memes, chat with each other, me, Justin, Jelani, Drew, Jeremy. It's really fun. Lots of fun stuff. And Patreon has exclusive stuff. So we really do appreciate it. Thank you for checking out the videos and all that stuff. Like I said, top 10 comic books of 2019 coming out this week. Really do appreciate it. Everything. Y'all are the best homies. This is one of the best places to be is PCP and the comic book community here on YouTube. We really do appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. I'm dipping out, and thanks for rocking with us. Thanks, y'all.